Hey, this is Veronica Wasek with another episode of BK Biz. What are the 3 biggest mistakes that bookkeepers make in their bookkeeping business? So what are the 3 biggest mistakes that bookkeepers make in their bookkeeping business? So number 1 is in pricing. I think most people underprice their services, and I think that comes from fear. And I certainly can understand, because I have definitely pulled my hair out trying to figure out my own pricing. And even now, when I price services for clients, I still feel a certain level of anxiety when I do it, because there's that whole anxiety of will they or won't they? Will they like this pricing? Will they not like the pricing? And the other side of that is, what if I underprice? What if I give too much away? So there's a lot of anxiety that goes on behind pricing. And again, I understand. And first of all, what I want you to know is that pricing is a journey that you need to go on. And it's something that you will learn to refine over time if you make some very specific changes. So number 1, in terms of improving your pricing, is that you need to establish yourself as a specialist in whatever you do. And the reason is because an ideal client will value working with a specialist or with an expert. And those are the types of clients that you're going after, the ones that will actually pay for you to solve their biggest problem. Number 2, you need to make a shift to fixed pricing. So you want to give your client fixed pricing. If you're starting out, perhaps a range of what something will cost, but you want to work toward giving your client a fixed price, and you want to get at least 50% of your price paid up front. Second biggest mistake that I see bookkeepers make is having an employee mentality. And what I mean by that is that we let the clients tell us what to do. So I see a lot of comments in the Facebook groups about a bookkeeper saying, well, my client wants me to do this, or my client wants me to do that, or my client wants me to do this that maybe is not legal or isn't right, or maybe it's not the best thing for the client. And the reason that's happening is because we're stuck in employee mentality. Perhaps because we have worked for other people and we're used to having a boss and doing what the boss wants. So what you need to understand is that your client is hiring a professional. You as the bookkeeper are the professional. So it is up to you then to bring the solutions, the best practices, the best way of doing things to your client. And if that client is trying to control you, to direct you too much, then they're not an ideal client. And you need to start moving away from those kinds of clients and finding clients that are teachable, that are trainable, and who want to do the right thing. Those are ideal clients. So I encourage you to, when you come across these clients that are trying to be very controlling, you have to learn to assert yourself and to say, no, these are best practices. I do everything under best practices, and I want to make sure we're a good fit. Otherwise, I probably shouldn't be working together. And the third biggest mistake that I see bookkeepers make is that they will take on just any client. So if the client is willing to pay you, then you take them on. And then you figure out that maybe their books are completely screwed up. Maybe they work in an industry that you don't understand. Perhaps they asked for something, but that's not really what they wanted once you started to look at their books. And so there's a tendency to take on a client before we've done a certain level of due diligence, if you will, of looking at their books, of understanding the client's needs, of really digging in to find the best solution for that client. And that can take time. And at some point, you will likely need to start charging for that, to do a diagnostic of your clients' books. I know that some people are telling me in the Facebook groups that, well, Veronica, you can do that because you're an expert and you've been doing this a while. And yes, while I did start giving free diagnostics for clients, I started to move away from that a few years ago because of the value that I bring to clients, and how much I can tell them that's wrong with their books, and I believe and I deserve to be paid for that level of expertise. So I would encourage you, number one, to then before you just dive in and take any client, is to do a proper assessment. Is this prospect an ideal client for you? If they are in the wrong industry, they have a bad personality, they're controlling, they're not willing to pay your fees, then walk away. They are not ideal clients. You're better off serving ideal clients. And secondly, then if they meet those criteria, then the next step is to then do a proper assessment of their books, of what they really need, so that then you can make a proper determination and recommendation to that client of the services that are needed. And then you go into a service agreement, so an agreement of what you will deliver. And again, hopefully it's a fixed price agreement, or you're giving the client a range and then you're getting 50% paid upfront. So I hope you found that helpful to help you avoid the biggest mistakes that bookkeepers are making in their bookkeeping business. I'm Veronica Wasek. If you find this content helpful, then subscribe to my channel, like this video, leave a comment, and visit my blog at 5minutebookkeeping.com.